Yeah. Okay, you can do it on this one. Stare in the camera.
Happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure to pack an extra shirt too.
Yeah, good. That was good. That was actually good advice.
And because you know what happens when you eat too much food.
Oh, it's a juicy beat. Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show, cause you know I know. Keeping up with the flow of all sports. Who hitting in the ring, who balling on the field, who hitting them shots on the basketball court. Of course, you know that I keep it updated from high school to pros. We see who gon' make it from 216 into 216. With a whole city screen, we finally made it. Yes, we are the best and it's true. I know what you heard and I know what it do. 10 toes down my sword where you pound real, recognize real, and I recognize you. So, we gon' keep it real with the facts. If you like that, grab a seat. You can sit back while I kick back with the winners. Keep it authentic. Give me 30 minutes, a couple shots, and a zigzag. I wanna wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving. Have fun with your family. Let's talk some football. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show.
Thanksgiving, that favorite holiday for anybody that love to eat. We all know that it's about family, food, and football. So we're going to go ahead and hop into that today. We got a couple games coming up today. It's going to be all about football. Let's jump right into it. Turkey Day football, baby. So today, you know, we got the big game, the Giants and the Cowboys. That's at 4:30. That's on Fox. Giants coming in looking kind of strong. Cowboys, they look equally matched for real. I don't see either one of these teams as being somebody we're going to be looking at in the Super Bowl. The Giants, they known to make like kind of a I don't want to call it a lucky run, but they would just strike out of nowhere. Like the Giants would just all of a sudden become this team, especially when they're having a season like this year, that when they get in the playoffs, they'll cause some noise. Maybe even get to a Super Bowl. We seen it with Eli. I don't think that's going to be the same for Daniel Jones, but who knows? A lot of people didn't think Eli was all that great until he won a Super Bowl. And even after a second Super Bowl win, a lot of people didn't think he was great. But with the Giants, I'm just not seeing any type of Super Bowl quality. But for today's game against the Cowboys, I don't see any way for victory for them. I think the Cowboys defense is going to take this game over just like we just seen them do. Now, they are coming off a short week, but it was an impressive short week where they went ahead and demolished one of the teams that a lot of people thought, not myself, but a lot of people thought was probably going to be the team to come out the NFC. The Cowboys, they almost got everything. Almost. They got a decent quarterback. I mean, Dak, he's nothing to scream about, rant and rave about for me, but he is an excellent leader, and he seemed to get them boys rallied up and pulled around him, and everybody believe in him, and that's one of the best things about him, and one of the best things about any quarterback is first people got to believe in you, and they seem to believe in Dak. Defense, we already know what that is. When you look at that defensive line, not the defensive line, when you look at that defense just in general, the talent that they have and the turnovers they're able to force, the pressure they're able to apply to the quarterback, Michael Parsons, when he get in on that end, is devastating. I think it's going to be a rough day for the Giants. I don't think that they have the adequate quarterback play. Now, the one thing that the Cowboys got to watch out for, I know they got a run game, but today you're going up against Saquon Barkley. And y'all not the best at the run, so the Cowboys could be looking at the Giants taking out a lot of chunks. But what I will say is that the Cowboys can score a lot of points, and I don't think the Giants can be able to keep up with that. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys on that one. We got the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. Now, I do think this is going to be a lot more entertaining than people might think when you look at these two teams. The Lions can play some football. They can play some offense. You know, they can score. Buffalo, you know, we know that Buffalo is outstanding. It's a great, one of the best teams in the league. A viable Super Bowl contender. They, you know, you got the quarterback, you got the run game, even though they barely know how to use it. You got the passing game, you got a defense. I mean, you can really get in there and cause some havoc. I think that I'm definitely going with the Bills on this, of course, even though they playing at the Lions on Turkey Day. But I don't think the Lions going to be able to beat them, but I think it's going to be a much closer game than people may give it credit for. Now, this Patriots versus Vikings. We go to the last game of the day. That's the game that's going to be real interesting to watch. Because I definitely think that the only edge that the Vikings have is just offensive talent. Having Jefferson and having Cook. Kirk Cousins, especially at nighttime and evening games, we all know can be very different from what he is on a 1 o'clock game. The Kirk Cousins, and we just seen the Vikings take a scraping by the Cowboys. The Patriots are one of the best coach teams and come from the toughest division in all of football right now. They come from the AFC East. This division from top to bottom has no losing teams. Every team in the AFC East is winning, so that means they're beating up on the competition. The Vikings are in a very weak division, and their success is kind of based upon the fact that their division is so weak that nobody's really in any competition, so of course they can rack up wins in the division. The Green Bay looks nothing like people thought they was, even though 2 years going to championship games. I mean, the fall off bound to happen sometimes, right? And Aaron Rodgers really don't like he in the football like that no more. I mean, he does it. He's a football player, but he got other things he can be doing. The Patriots are a well buttoned up, oiled machine, as we've seen. Even when we thought they was falling off, they still was better than half the league. They're a perennial playoff team, so you kind of got that going. And they got Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all times. I don't care what anybody say about him and Tom Brady and all of that. No, Bill Belichick, even without Tom Brady, he might not be winning Super Bowls, but that's due more to how the game is played nowadays. But his team is still competitive. He's transitioned time and still keeps a good program. And he's doing more than a regular coach. He's actually like the GM, president, and coach. So this game is a real toss-up for me. Something is telling me that the Patriots are going to pull this game off. I'm going to go with the Patriots. Vikings, like I told you, I don't really have that much faith in. And Kirk Cousins, I mean, I'm not a fan. I mean, I respect all professional athletes, but Kirk Cousins, I don't see him being able to pull this off. I'm going to go with the upset with this one, if it's an upset, but I'm going to go with the Patriots to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Patriots to go ahead and beat the Vikings to take the victory on that. That'll be the first games that's coming up. But let's go back to this New York Giants and this Dallas Cowboys, because there's a lot more going on in this game than just the game itself. There's a lot going on in this game that has very little to do with the game, but what could happen after the game. And of course, unless you've been living under a rock, we all know that we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. So as we all know, Odell Beckham Jr. is able to come back this week. I guess he's been cleared by doctors, so now it's a lot of buzz about what team he's going to sign with. The whole game on Thursday, got a lot to do with speculation behind what team Odell is going to sign with. Is he going to go to the Giants? Is he going to go to the Cowboys? You know what I'm saying? Will he go back home, or will he try a new adventure and go to Jerry's World, the greatest place on earth? You know, I think for Odell, first off, you got to do what's best for you. And as we all know, Odell took a little bit of a hit because we don't really know if it's crypto or if it's urgency that's bringing him back and making him sign with a team. You see, because it could be urgency because he want to get back and play football and continue his greatness, or it could be because it's crypto, because it's like crypto night, because he's been hurt, he's been beat, he's been broke down. He done took an L on crypto. He got to recoup that now. You know what I'm saying? So I say for right now, hopefully, he's coming back because it's urgency. He wants to continue his legacy and be considered one of the greats. One of the greats, man, you're going to get at least as a receiver 2 Super Bowls, 2 separate teams. That'll put you in a conversation with the greats. I mean, this ain't the days of old where you would be with one team and have an entire career and you win 2 or 3 Super Bowls. No. As a receiver, to me, right now, you kind of like a ninja. You're like an assassin. You're a mercenary out here for real. Your loyalty lies with you catching that ball, catching that rock, and showing that you're the best out here. That should be a receiver's mentality. If I'm Odell, I'm not going to New York. For what? Who throwing me the ball? Daniel Jones? That ain't going to work. If I'm going to Cowboys, I might. Cowboys, I'm going to have some fame. I'm going to be rubbing shoulders with Jerry Jones. And, we going to hang out a little bit. That. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bit of that check. You know what I'm saying? I'm down in Texas, no taxes. I can't live the lifestyle I want, but I'm close enough to Cali where it don't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Texas cool. I mean, UGK got down. You know what I'm saying? They down there having fun, ball. Not ball, Bun, excuse me. Bun having fun down there. Rest in peace to Pimp C. You know what I'm saying? Scarface, everybody seem to love Texas. Bruhs that I know to go to Texas. Love Texas. And it's Republican as hell. But that's another story. So, could he make it in Texas? Yeah. I mean, everything bigger in Texas. That star is big. That star is bright. But where he really should go is right down here in the corner. That arrowhead, Kansas City. Odell, if you want to be great, you go to Kansas City. You help them win another Super Bowl. You'll be 2 Super Bowls easy. And you come in right around the time when it's playoffs. Now you got a model. Now you got a mold. You sign on for the next team. They already know. You can still sign with the Cowboys next year and get all of that and win 3. Because you may be the piece that helped them win the Super Bowl next year. This year it's not going to happen, even with you there. They're going to try, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl. The Cowboys are not winning a Super Bowl in 2022. 23 maybe. They got more time to build, and if they know that you're coming on board fresh off a Super Bowl, you get some time to rehab, and they already know your role. You're going to play a little bit through the season, but you really playoff and Super Bowl ready. That's what you're there for. It's a better role for you. I think you go in here and jump in with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You become that weapon that can't nobody really got enough time to adjust for going into the playoffs. You become that go-to guy for Patrick Mahomes when Kelce is getting triple covered or double covered, because it's going to happen in the playoffs. They're going to take Kelce out the game. You become the star. You help them win another Super Bowl. You got 2 Super Bowls, 2 separate teams. They know how to use you, know when you should come in. You don't have to worry about getting hurt. The load not going to be on you. By the time you go to the Cowboys, if you decide to go there just because you want to get with the star, well, everything is already put in place for you. Come on, man. This is easy. Sometimes don't think about the fame, man. Be in it for the long run, man. Go for greatness, baby. Go for greatness. Go to the Chiefs this year, man. Cowboys can wait. Let them play this game and then tweet out, yo, Kansas City, what that barbecue taste like? Ha!
What I'm into, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. What I'm into, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out a plate. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. They see food, but can't fish out a plate. Rather kill you while they take you up top. Hit the gas, how I give them a break. They burned down, how they getting so high. Killed the plug, ain't got nothing to grind. I'ma listen, but ain't gotta believe you. Half the world out here telling them lies. Fixing leaks, ain't no water dripping. Sacrificing for a better position. I'm never humping on no side with me. So who you fucking, none of my business. Yes, I'm living out a better life. And fuck them haters who ain't done me right. You ain't 100 if you ain't coming from it. If your ribs never touch your stomach. From the hood, once I'm raising the birds. Hit the streets, gotta be about your words. Hit the ladies, I ain't trying to be the greatest. Hit the herbs, put together the words. Bank cards, I don't need me a purse. Work hard, I just need me a verse. Get the profit, I'ma be about that work. Try to hurt me, you can sleep on the dirt. The real soldier got a plate on. Want the bread and cheese with the mayo. I'm a G.O.D., I got a halo. I'ma make it believe what it says. Cause I only speak on what matters. As I live this life, you better believe it's up. King Jammer through your data. It's tally up, they can't believe it's us. What I'm into, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out a plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out a plate. What I'm into, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out a plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out a plate.
It's in the music, they can feel it God. And even up how I beat the odds. A real one, this is no facade. Only good vibes when you meet the squads. Wholehearted on my music, yeah. Nothing to it but to do it, yeah. Was born with it, never lose it, yeah. Never give up, stay moving, yeah. Cause you never know, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah.
Just stay on go, oh, oh, oh.
Yeah. This This is how I'ma kill 'em. Take back the money, take back my position. Good in your hood, no opposition. Back in the game, just making a difference. I'm into yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. What I'm into, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Nothing to prove, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. Just in my groove, yeah. Keep on working, yeah, they definitely gon' hate. Watch how I move, yeah, yeah. They see food, but can't fish out of plate. What I'm into, yeah.
Back to the show. All right, it's time to get into that AFC strong, and then also for me to go ahead and do my pick 6. Now we're gonna do something a little different. I did 3 earlier, right? So I'm gonna do 6. I'm gonna do 6 more. So this week I'm gonna pick 9 games. I'm gonna pick out a 9. I'm gonna add that to my record and see where I'm at, and see if next week do I look like a genius or a jackass. It's really that simple. Football is a game. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Football is crazy. But let's go ahead and get in to that AFC strong. Who is AFC strong? Well, as we see from last week, ain't much changed. The Ravens still holding that crown down. They still got that crown in their head. They still the ones to beat. They still going to look like they're going to be representing the AFC in the playoffs. But something happened. Bengals went 6-4 because they won last week. Now, the Browns and the Steelers both 3-7. So really at this point, unless something crazy happened towards the end of the year, Deshaun, it looked like the Bengals, Browns and the Steelers is basically out of it, but they can play spoiler the way that the schedules are set up. Can really have a lot of impact in the games moving forward, right? It's really a 2-week race right now. It was a 3-week race. It's down to 2 now. Bengals then actually, I believe, moved up in the top 14. Moved up into the top 14, rather, as representing in the AFC, where if it started today, they would be in the playoffs. But as we see right here, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. I mean, even when they ugly, he found a way to win. If there's anything that you can't take away from Lamar Jackson, it's that no matter what's going on, I don't care if it's coaching, when you want to say defense, coaching, whatever, when he's at the helm, when he is under center, the Ravens win. Point blank, period. I mean, it's really crazy. I actually might do something about Lamar next week, because I'm an AFC. I'm part of the AFC because I'm with the Browns, but so I get to see a lot of our talent. And Lamar, although he's not your prototypical quarterback, and he's not even like these new age quarterbacks, I wouldn't put him necessarily in a Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen category, because I don't know if his arm is that strong as them. He's definitely more athletic, but his decision making, and we got to see exactly what pick up to move forward with Lamar. You know what I'm saying? But he wins games, and that's good for regular season, and the playoffs to get a little tougher. You know, him and Jalen Hurts, they'll find stuff out like that in the playoffs too. But I can definitely see Lamar Jackson winning the Super Bowl, like I said before, especially with the Ravens, due to the fact they don't really need a great quarterback historically for them to win the Super Bowl. They're one of the franchises that don't. And historically, he is a great quarterback. So, yeah, eventually they're going to crack that nut. The Bengals, I definitely see. So with that being said, matter of fact, I am definitely taking the Ravens over the Jaguars. All right, so y'all already know. That's like a Steeler before I do my recap. I can't talk that good about them and then say they're going to lose to the Jaguars. They could, because anything can happen on any Sunday. But I think they're gonna maintain. All right, then we got the Bengals. They 6-4. I mean, the Bengals was looking good. I mean, the Steelers showed some life when they played against them, but that's how division games go. But you got to remember, they got Joe Burrow, man. This is a quarterback-driven league. Usually the better quarterback will win, especially in games that are highly competitive like that, where it's a lot of points being scored. That usually favors a quarterback who is better because he can actually pull it out in the last couple minutes of the game, where, the less favorable quarterback or the new quarterback who might be adding some energy into the game doesn't really necessarily know what to do in crunch time. Joe Burrow, although only in his 3rd year in the league, is a veteran. I mean, he's went deeper. He's played more games in his 2 years going into his 3rd year than a lot of quarterbacks have played in 3 years, simply because he's been to the playoffs and went deep, went to the Super Bowl. So he has more experience than most 3-year quarterbacks in the game right now. So Joe Burrow, yeah, he's the truth. Browns versus the Buccaneers, that's going to be an interesting little game. Sitting at 3-7. Played the Bills about as well as they could have played them without having, I think things will be different when Deshaun get back, just as far as the Browns in general. But for right now, I mean, with Jacoby Brissett going up against Josh Allen, even though the defense held Josh Allen surprisingly low compared to what he can actually do, they did what they could do. But yeah, Browns is in 3rd, and then of course we got the Steelers, who look like they're showing a little bit of life now. Even though I just read seen an article, I didn't get a chance to read it yet. But I guess they said that Mike Tomlin is giving up on the Steelers. I got to check into that. But, I had a piece on Mike Tomlin a couple weeks ago where I said I didn't really know if he was the quarterback that the Steelers needed. And maybe that's not just from what I'm seeing. Maybe Mike Tomlin is seeing that as well. Maybe Mike Tomlin doesn't think that he needs to be in Pittsburgh anymore. He can find other opportunities elsewhere and get a lot more money and a lot more notoriety. It's like Mike Tomlin might be at the point in his life, because he's actually still relatively a young man, and he was a young coach when he started. He got a Super Bowl, and he got a great record underneath his belt. He might be at the point where he's ready to take a dive, take a leap of faith and leave the good company job for, a great job, because there's going to be some positions open. And he would be a prime candidate. If Mike Tomlin was to say, hey, I'm leaving the Steelers, or I don't want to coach here anymore, and hit the market, besides Sean Payton, who wouldn't be a hotter coaching candidate for any job in NFL? Any open vacancy in the NFL would be jumping at Mike Tomlin. And if they are not, we know what that's about. Wink, wink. Good old boy club. But other than that, what franchise would not want Mike Tomlin as a head coach if he decided that the Steelers was no longer a fit for him? What if, a different take on what I said before about how maybe, the Steelers are always keeping their quarterbacks and staying, head coaches and staying on course with they don't fire. What if he's the first one to leave? What if Mike Tomlin leaves the Steelers to go find greener pastures at another quarterback position, at another head coach position, with a chance at a better quarterback? Like, it's a possibility. I'm actually looking into it, dig a little bit deeper. And next week, Lamar Jackson, Mike Tomlin, maybe finding somewhere else to go. Let me look and see if there's any smoke to that. That might be something to talk about. But that's our AFC strong. Right now, the Ravens, like they've been since I've started, still wearing that crown, but things are definitely close between them and the Bengals. So we'll go ahead and check that out and see what's going to happen. All right, let's do our top 14 for the week. AFC, we got Kansas City Chiefs. Really not a lot of changing up here, except for the Bengals moved in and the Jets moved out. They went ahead and took up that property. They went on, that vacancy that went up for sale, and they came right on in and said, I'll take that right off the market for you. Bengals is now in the top 7. So, yeah, we got Miami, Tennessee, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and New England. That's your top 7 in the AFC. New England can really solidify and show something if they beat Minnesota. I mean, the season is starting to get shorter. These wins is counting a lot more. And who you beat can help you a long way as far as positioning and where you might end up. And right now we see in the AFC East rather, although it looks like they're going to send 3 teams right now at this point in the season, as close as they are, the race is over there with the Dolphins, the Bills, and the Patriots. We don't know exactly who's going to be on top. We just know they're probably going to send possibly three teams. All right, NFC top 7, really nothing changed here except for Tampa Bay is out and Washington has come in. Washington Commanders. Coach Riviera might be up for Coach of the Year because the Giants, nobody saw that coming. But when you look at what the Washington has been through, the NFC East is crazy. Now, the one thing about this top 7 that will change is that, as far as playoffs go, rather, of course, there's no conference that's going to send 4 teams to the playoffs. So one of these teams are going to get bumped simply on GP. But in the top 7 right now, 3 of those teams are from the NFC. 4, of those teams are from the NFC East. 1 of those teams is from the NFC North, and the other 2 is from the NFC West. The top 7 teams in the NFC are all in the NFC West. The NFC East, and none of them. I guess you could say Jalen Hurts is having a great year, but none of them have a great quarterback. So that either means that, and that's what I'm saying about the NFC in general. The teams are not that strong where the quarterback play is that even, where you don't need a great quarterback. Like, it's just, the teams are that even that the quarterback play doesn't have to be that strong for you to be dominant in the NFC, which is why I say back to what I said before, Odell, don't go to NFC. If you're going to the NFC, okay, I can understand going to the Cowboys, but your best bet right now, go to Kansas City, win another Super Bowl. That's what you do. Go be a 2-time Super Bowl and show that when I come to your team, especially for playoffs, I can help you get that ring. You're going to raise your value tremendously. All right, but back to the NFC top 7. We got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Vikings, Seahawks, San Fran, New York, Dallas Cowboys, and Washington Commanders. But yeah, so what I'm looking at is not a lot of movement. Some movement, because you kind of expect the top 4 to kind of stay there. There will be some movement when we get to the end of the season, because not all of these teams, not every conference can send 4. No conference can send 4 teams. I don't think it's ever been done. But we'll be taking a look at that. All right, so let's see what I did last week. Because the week before I did kind of horrible. I was on my picks. I was 2-4. I missed 4 games and I got 2 right. Let's see what I did this week. Oh, flipped it right upside down. I'm like doing a triple lending over here. I was able to win 4 this time, and I lost 2. And the one, I told you it was going to be the Eagles, but I just felt like that Colts victory would have been a little slap in the face to the NFL and the league and to anybody and everybody on some other notes, some personal notes. Also, I thought it would just kept that Saturday story going, even though I got another story of him coming up. Let me see what he's doing, because he might not be an NFL head coach, but is he doing worse than Josh McDaniels? How many times he going to get to be a head coach? So in my predictions, yeah, we got Buffalo over the Browns. I think everybody's saying that. Stevie Wonder's saying that. Bengals beat the Steelers. Baltimore took out the Panthers. I don't think anybody saw Dallas destroying Minnesota the way they did. Yeah, Chiefs went ahead and did what they normally do against Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Sunday, go home. Chiefs went ahead and got that win, and the Eagles were able to beat the Colts, which I figured they would. Although, I will say, for the Eagles to be number 1 in the NFC, and for the Colts to not even be in the top 7 in the AFC, for the game to be as close as it was and competitive as it was, with a coach who's not even a coach, he's a commentator, I think that just showed the strength of the AFC. I just got to say it. AFC strong. All right. Now, what's that bring my record to? Well, I've done about 18 games since I started. I'm 9-9. I'm average. I'm 500. So that's why with these next 6 predictions, plus the 3 that I did earlier, I chose the Cowboys, I chose the Patriots, and I chose Buffalo as my 3 winners from today's games for Thanksgiving. These 6, I can be 9 up, hopefully. I can be 9 down. Hope not. All right, so my predictions for this week. I'm going to take the Browns over the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady can't get out the way from Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, who are going to have huge games this week because they are really feeling the pressure. And Deshaun Watson is coming back next week. So if there's any week that every Browns player on this team is feeling energy and everybody on this team want to do good and get at least one more win, it's this week. Because next week, Deshaun Watson. And if we're at 4 and 7, with 6 games left, we could end at 10 and 7. Because Deshaun Watson on this Browns team will be more than capable of going 6-0 those last 6 games. 5-1, 4-2 maybe, which would still be respectable and still give us some promise. We wouldn't hit the playoffs. But at 10 and 7, the Browns might even slip into the playoffs, because at 10 and 7, we would have to dominate our own division. We would split with Baltimore, have 2 wins over the Bengals, and have 2 wins over the Steelers, depending on how the records work out, because 10 and 7, there's still some football to be played. It's not unreachable for us to catch or even pass the Bengals at 10 and 7. Or depending if Baltimore usually doesn't have a slump, but if Baltimore was to have a slump, boom, right there. And I'm only saying all of that because Deshaun Watson is coming back. We got the Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. I just personally feel like the offensive line of the Bengals is so bad and the defense of the Tennessee Titans is so good that when rubber meets the road is still there. Rubber will burn out. So I'm going to say that the Tennessee Titans will, and they're coming for a revenge game. You know, they got embarrassed. They got beat. They wasn't supposed to last year in the playoffs. They're upset about that. It's real hard in a revenge game on the road, and you can't protect your quarterback. And I'm not sure if Jamar Chase is going to be back in time. So, yeah, I'm going with Tennessee. I'm definitely going with San Fran over the Saints, because San Fran, quiet as kept, is probably the best team in the NFC. Don't have the quarterback that I believe can win a Super Bowl, although Jimmy's been there before, but they definitely have the team. I think that the San Francisco 49ers are the best team in the NFC, and by the end of the season, everybody will see it. I got the Steelers beating the Colts. I just think the Steelers are showing a lot of gumption. The Colts don't really have a quarterback, and this is where preparation comes in. Mike Tomlin, regardless of how he feels about the Steelers right now, if this story holds any water, and regardless of what went on prior, he's still a better coach, and he should be able to get a victory against the Colts. I got Baltimore over the Jags. I mean, that's easy. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, I like him, but in Baltimore, anybody can throw on him. Trevor Lawrence is actually a decent fantasy pick this week because Baltimore allows so many passing yards, especially the competent offenses. But I'm still taking Baltimore for the win. And Green Bay and the Eagles, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, you had your moment last week. Y'all got that win. I know y'all feeling good, but I think this week the Eagles, although they win ugly, they're going to be able to beat the Green Bay Packers because the Packers will be on the road and they'll be feeling a little bit of a high horse, and they also know that they're kind of out of it anyway. I mean, the NFC, maybe Aaron Rodgers can try and make some type of run, but I believe he's out of it. He's gone. They know that. I believe they already start packing their bags, and they're starting to plan out camping trips and summer vacations. And, Valentine's Day is coming up. Hey, get your lady something nice because you won't be bringing you home no ring. So go ahead and give me the Eagles on that one. We'll see how I do next week. Right now I'm standing at 9-9.
That's fine. Just you. Nobody else. Just you.
Well, I got a minor issue. I got my little brother with me. All right, cool. Well, we'll be there. All right, see.
Uncle Freddie love the kids. Hey.
Hey, Uncle
the heck?
What's the matter?
What the hell?
What?
If you don't take this John Coffee blind side, damn. They passed off some turkeys up the street.
He had a growth sport.
They ain't passing off the turkeys. Go pass. Get that nigga out.
You never seen Michael Moore?
I saw Michael on blind side. Y'all ass out of here.
That was great.
I'm confronting my ass.
Now that's not nice. You mother.
All right. So that does it for this week. Told you I was going to keep it short and sweet for you so you could get back to your turkey. Now you got a little bit to go on in case you wanted to play on bet some games or do any last minute, you got some data, okay? I'm official. All right? I'm 9-9. And just remember one thing. I never, ever, ever picked the wrong team. Sometimes the wrong team just win. Okay? I never lose. I always win. But sometimes the wrong team wins. All right? So you got a little bit of something to go on if you want to place any bets or talk smack to your friends about who's supposed to do what this week or Thanksgiving dinner, or you want to talk to your cousin who crazy about sports like me, you know what I'm saying? Then you can go ahead and tell him, hey, I think this is who's going to win and why. That's why I do this show, man. Give you a little bit of game that, you know what I'm saying, maybe you ain't had before you got here. So we're going to go ahead and get with our holiday, but I'm not going to leave you dry. Beginning to feel a lot like Christmas around here. Hey, oh wait, that's next holiday. Let me go ahead and leave you with some fantasy football players out there. I got some picks for you. As normal, every week, I'll give you 2 picks and a possible. 2 picks and a possible this week. I know I said he wasn't the greatest, but I like to match up. Dak Prescott owns the NFC East. And anytime he plays a team from the NFC East, he pretty much does great numbers. So QB Dak Prescott. Jeff Wilson Jr., who just left San Fran, and we seen him run all up and down the Browns about 2 weeks ago, is coming on in. It'll be a great pick at running back for you if you can go ahead and grab him. If you win the league and he's available, you can go ahead and grab him. Or if you just go ahead and do like a DraftKings or FanDuels or anything like that, I think he'll be at a good price. And he's going up against Houston, who is the worst at run defense. They're giving up about 178 yards a game right now. And then you're possible, like I told you earlier, Trevor Lawrence. Although Baltimore should win that game, Trevor Lawrence should have an absolute field day throwing the ball on that secondary and on the Baltimore Ravens. I know they did some shoring up on defense, but I do believe the last week's low-scoring game was just based on competition more than it was based on what the Baltimore Ravens can actually do against a competent quarterback, especially somebody like Trevor Lawrence, who I think got all the skills in the world to be one of the great quarterbacks moving forward. I'm not going to put him up there with the greats, but I think he'll have a nice career. So once again, happy holidays. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for checking me out. And happy Thanksgiving. So, yeah, I know I said that today was going to be all about football, and it is. And it was, because the show is over now. But the Cavs, baby. Cavs back to them winning ways. They done came back home. They done found that juice. They started running through Garland and Mitchell and let everybody else build. You seeing Jared Allen go to another level. Look out for the Cavs, baby.
Oh, it's a juicy beat. Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show.
Welcome to the show, cause you know I know. Keeping up with the flow of all sports. Who hitting in the ring, who balling on the field, who hitting them shots on the basketball court. Of course you know that I keep it updated from high school to pros. We see who gon' make it from 216 into 216. With a whole city screen, we finally made it. Yes, we are the best and it's true. I know what you heard and I know what it do. 10 toes down my sword, where you pound real, recognize real, and I recognize you. So, we gon' keep it real with the facts. If you like that, grab a seat. You can sit back while I kick back with the winners. Keep it authentic. Give me 30 minutes, a couple shots, and a zigzag. I want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving. Have fun with your family. Let's talk some football.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Everette Man Show.